Hey, sorry I botched that last or the first take on that. Thanks to a friend, Jonathan, who actually tried to hear it and couldn't hear it. Obviously, there was no volume. So, just an old cell. Anyway, 40 days. What are 40 days for me of fasting? I didn't make the 40 days. I made only 30 out of the 40 days. Um, in the fourth day that I started my fast, God revealed to me that it was going to be a very hard fast in the sense that I'd feel weak, that I uh, would have lack of concentration. I stopped reading the Bible. It was just so hard to get my head focused and straight. I was always just weak and couldn't get out of the house, stopped jogging. It was a 40-day fast of just water, and it was the most difficult thing I've done aside from quitting drugs. But it's up there. I mean, to me, it was harder than quitting drugs, but I've not done drugs so long that I don't remember what it was like really to leave them. Anyway, I can tell you that the 30 days that I was able to fast just water were very hard on me. There were days that I didn't want to get up out of bed and I had to work. There were days where I couldn't think, I couldn't concentrate. So by the day 30, when it finally came, I was 10 days away from finishing the fast. There was one thing that changed at day 30 that made me go back to eat, and that was the Holy Spirit. The first 27 days, I felt the Holy Spirit just push me. And there was no doubt in my heart what I had to do, and there was nothing that was going to stop me, not because I wanted to continue, but because the Holy Spirit was just pushing me, and there was just so much security and no doubt as to how far I was going to get. And I had no problem with it. I felt secure about what I was doing because it wasn't me. It just wasn't. But by day 27, I stopped feeling the Holy Spirit pushing me. I felt weak and distraught now. I felt kind of lost, and things started getting really complicated for me because there was just nothing pushing me to keep going. And there was one instance in my life where I literally felt, well, there was actually more than one, but this one instance in my life, I felt how my body was being separated from my spirit, and it was just a slow dying moment, I guess. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just really weird. But it was just a really weird experience, and by day 28, that's what I started feeling. Day 29, it was the same thing, no Holy Spirit. Just a really, really long day for me. It was a battle that, I couldn't even think about going to day 40 when day 29 seemed impossible for me. And by the day 30 came, I just said no more. If the Spirit's not going to push me to finish it, it was just too much for me to do alone. And that's one of the biggest takes I think I got from this, is that without God, I can't do anything. But during these 30 days, I was in complete defiance of God. I prayed a lot and I spoke to him a lot, but it was like, why are you making this so hard on me? And the whole time it was like, I only came up with one verse of the whole entire Bible, and it was, my grace is sufficient, and my grace is sufficient. And that was the truth that kept me going for 30 days. And the Spirit just pushing me along. It was just a combination of, this is not about me and this is nothing I can do, but it was God doing it. And I did 3 days of smoothies, not to jump into food. So by day 33, I was just starving. Like, smoothies weren't filling me up anymore. They gave me good energy, but I was just starving. And so I bought one of those dollar breads at Walmart that that just water basically in dough. And I said this isn't going to do anything. And I had some vegan hot dogs there, so I just kind of mixed them. I cooked the hot dog, kind of warmed up the bread, mixed it up, ate, and it just all backfired on me. I thought it was going to be over after day 30, but today is actually day 40. I would have finished my fast today, and day 33 ate. Day 34 I was in ER. My liver and my gallbladder stopped functioning. So when I ate, I just basically threw up everything I ate. The whole hot dog, just literally throughout the night. It's for sure, one of the most painful things I've ever gone through. I started about day 33 at 9 o'clock at night, and it was day 34, 10 o'clock in the morning, drove myself to the ER. You'd think they'd give you something for the pain, but they did all this, the CT and oh gosh, they did all the tests. I can't even remember. I don't even know the names really. They x-rayed my chest, well, whatever. They did like 4 tests on me, and it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and they knew the medicine they had to give me. They said it was narcotics, so it wasn't going to be this easy thing, And they said, well, we can't actually give it to you until you have somebody here present that we know is going to take you home. And I was like, shoot. I talked to 5 people in my life, and 5 people that I consider my blood and my friends from the heart. And there was only one that wasn't working at the time all this was happening. It was like 1 or 2, I can't remember really well. And so I call him, I called him, I think. I can't even remember. I was so much pain. And he says, I'll be there. The GPS says 20 minutes, so he gets there in 20 minutes. He texts me, hey, I'm here. I call the nurse and I say, hey, he's here, just go check. The nurse takes another forever time for me, and they finally get that injection, and I fell asleep. It was like 2:30 in the afternoon, and from 9 o'clock at night to 2:30, I had just nonstop pain. And in that period of time, my faith wasn't tested because I know God is real, right? He pushed me, the Spirit pushed me all those days. Everything seemed that it was going to be over quickly, and it wasn't. And but it was. I prayed for healing. I even prayed for God just to take my life at some point. I was just so much pain. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was just, dragging myself through my carpet in the house. It was just the most awful thing. But He didn't heal me. He didn't help me. He didn't give me anything. As a matter of fact, when I drove from here to the emergency room, I caught every single red light. And I was in so much pain, I was like, Jesus, give me a break. Did not use good language, nice language. I'm using it now. But there was a lot of foul mouth, anger I haven't felt in so long. And when I was there and I got there and I was like, okay, they're just going to put something to stop this pain. Then they took 4 hours to put something in me, and I was like, what's going on? This is crazy. I can't breathe. I can't think. The pain was so overwhelming. It was just like I was done, And when I woke up, my friend took me home, brought me home, and he actually did a soup for me and spent the day. He called in sick. He's, 5 people that I talked to in my life. My mom, my sister in California, my cousin in Massachusetts, and 2 men here who are married, but they're always checking up on me. They know how to love me, and they've shown themselves not only to be Christian brothers, but brothers from the heart as well. It was the most insane thing I've lived. And from day 34 to today, which is my day 40, I've lived in drugged up. You have no idea. I had antibiotics, anti-inflammatories, Oh my gosh, I so many stupid drugs, painkillers I've had. I couldn't work really all week. So I was worried about my work, running behind, losing my job. Um, it was just so difficult for me to understand what was going on. You know, I thought the fast is over, this is over, and it just dragged on. I finished my pills on Friday and Saturday. Went to the doctor on Friday, they told me it was a 10 o'clock in the morning meeting or whatever, and I got home like at 2:30. I mean, the doctor, another emergency, this and that. I hadn't taken, my last pills. I was in pain. I was hungry. I was angry again. A friend of mine kind of texted me when I was there, so I kind of got a little bit of my anger out of the way. And then the pill stopped. And they sent me more painkillers, by the way. They said, because of my delicate situation, they can't actually get in there, operate my gallbladder, and fix whatever tube that the liver goes through to get my stuff out. And I don't know the process really well, sorry. And so anyway, they can't operate. They have to check back in a month. So they send me more painkillers. And I stopped. I said, no more painkillers. No more nothing. I believe in God. I give my life to God today, tomorrow, and forever. Not because He can save me or because He's my healer or He gives me eternal life. Because during this whole time, as you can see, I live by myself. This is my studio keyboard. There's my computer where I mix drums, kind of a guitar there. Well, that's kind of my house. My living room should have been my dining room. Anyway, I live by myself. I do life by myself. But I never, ever feel alone in my life. Ever. And that's because God is with me. And I feel Him and I love Him. And I don't get these great revelations or these great prayers. And maybe God does or doesn't listen to my prayers. I think He does, personally. But I am not going to be torn away from God because of anything that I can go through. I'm going to stay with God because He's real and because He loves me. And the Bible has a whole bunch of promises that God gives you. If nothing comes true for me, and if I die alone, I'm okay with it. Talk tomorrow a little bit more. Sorry it went longer.